to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington football podcast by fans for fans. With your hosts, Jesse Martin.
Do you want to play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
John Taman.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
And Keith Gray.
The King, your majesty.
And now here's your host, Jesse Martin.
What is going on? Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. It is Tuesday, August 10th. And I am here with my co-host, as always, Keith Gray and John Taman. Boys, how is it going?
It's going all right. Yeah, it's going pretty damn good, I think.
Pretty damn
got
good.
Some football this week.
We do,
You know what?
we
We
do.
say that every year. Hey, we got some football this week, and then it's just preseason, and you go, yeah, this just really isn't quite the same.
But it's two teams of different colors playing against each other. So I am a little bit hyped. We got a great show lined up for you tonight. We're going to recap Thursday night practice. It was at FedEx Field. It has fun. We're going to talk about the game coming up on Thursday against the Patriots. Our depth chart, the first unofficial depth chart was released. And then we might have a Keith's Corner by the end of the show. We'll see. So we'll start by talking about Friday Night Lights and the practices that was at FedEx Field. I made the 3-hour drive up there. It was pretty cool, man. Keith, I'll start with you first. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I definitely think that the practice itself, they definitely put a show on for the fans. The practices that they were putting on, or should I say, what they were doing in the practice, having the QBs toss the ball down the field to the receivers, that type of deal, really got the crowd involved. There was a lot of crowd pop when that was happening. All the quarterbacks were really making, good throws. So I don't necessarily think this was a practice to determine any rosters by any means. This, I think, was more for a show for the fans. But I enjoyed watching Fitzpatrick. He tossed a lot of balls down the field, got a lot of crowd reaction, a lot of great catches. There were some, defensive plays that happened as well. You saw the team get excited. So that part was pretty cool. Ron Rivera coming out to the field, talking to the fans, basically saying that, they need us in the stands, and I can appreciate that. I didn't see it, but I heard it and thought it was pretty cool. And then I also saw videos afterwards, of him talking. So that was really cool. And then the light show with the fireworks, man, to tell you, they definitely put a lot of money into those fireworks. Forget the light show itself, but the fireworks probably about 5 years worth of 4th of July's that we go to around town, where it was pretty much what do they call the end of the firework display, the grand finale?
Yeah.
It was pretty much a grand finale the entire time they were doing the laser show. So just a pretty cool idea to engage with fans and get fans excited.
Yeah. I felt the same way. It was definitely fun. Got to meet even some more folks from Twitter out there. Washington Rundown was cool enough to invite us down to the front row on the 50-yard line. So we got to hang out with him for a little while and kind of watch the players up close. We saw, I think Fitzpatrick looks good. You can definitely tell he has a very good rapport going on with Terry McLaurin. And we already knew about the Adam Humphries a rapport that he's built going back to Tampa. He made some plays. I was impressed, man. The team is really trying again, just going off from what we saw from training camp until now. You can tell they're going gung ho and trying to bring fans into the stadium. And I think they're doing a good job of doing it, to be honest with you. we got to go into a part of the stadium that I've never been to before, which was the club area, the second level. I guess it's the bougie area.
Yes.
You gotta have some money to go up there, but even the beer was free, which I thought was excellent. And they had all these vendors that are going to be now selling food at the stadium, giving out food for free, and it was pretty damn good. Keith, you're going to say something?
Yeah, I'm not really sure why club level is a thing, to be honest. Why people would pay all that money to sit there? Because I mean, honestly, when you're in that section and just sitting there alone, like I kind of just felt disconnected just from the distance to the field. So, yeah. I mean, I understand that they serve food and all of that, and you're probably getting free drinks and, you're getting that aspect of football, but I don't know, man. I'd rather.
I saw a game up there one time. It was when we beat the Bears like 48-21. Big Daddy Wilkinson returned a fumble for like 95 yards. And
I have a football jersey of that guy.
Dude, I'll tell you what.
Really?
Yeah. When I was up there, for one, they have windows. All right. So you have to open the window if you want to actually hear the game. And they all just sit there at these little tables and whatnot. Out on the concourse of that level, there are people sitting in easy chairs reading the paper while the game is going on. It's like, what the fuck are you even doing?
Like I said, it's bougie. It's if you got money just to blow.
And I had something to say to somebody on the field, so I stuck my head around the window that was open and I yelled out, "You effing suck!" And the guy sitting next to me goes, "They can't hear you." And I'm like, they can't hear me in my own house either, you idiot. Well, I'm yelling it in there.
Just in the area that we were at, like you're so far up that like there's a disconnect. Like I almost feel like I'm not there with the game going on. I might as well just stay home and watch TV. I've always thought that about the suites too, even though the suites are a little bit more private and you probably share different experiences.
I think you got TVs in the suites as well too.
Yeah, but even so, like patio, if I'm going to pay all that money, I want to be up close in front, into the action. But I get it. Not everybody's that way. It's just, I don't know. I wouldn't shell out a ton of money to be that far up.
They even had like the price of the seats, man. And it's like some of them for like 2 seats, it was like $485 a month. Like, dude, I ain't trying to do all that.
No.
But yeah, we went down into the bottom bowl. Seats that we have, I think they're pretty good in section 106. Yeah, they're in the corner, kind of end zone, but you are more up close and personal, like you said. And I think you can see the overall field better from up there. But you still have, when you're down on the bottom, you can still, I wouldn't want to have front row seats on the 50-yard line. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
You'd have to stand up the whole entire game, because when the players are standing up, they're blocking off some of the field. So I think us being up on the 11th row is a lot better. Plus you have the Megatrons on both sides that you can see replays and stuff like that. But all in all, it was worth the drive up there. I mean, I think I spent like 2 hours there, 2-3 hours there. And
I do have a question.
Sure.
Did you happen to see any other player penises that you could compare?
No, I certainly didn't.
It was looking though.
Don't make me laugh. I have a killer fucking toothache, man.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah.
But yeah, it was all in all a pretty cool event. I'm glad that we went up there and I had a good time. All right, moving on from Friday Night Football, I want to talk about the player vaccination rates. Now we are now at 86% of players that have at least one dose of the vaccine, which is a hell of a lot better than it was last week. When it was, I think like 55% or some shit like that.
It was last in the league is what it was. No matter what it was, exactly. That's last in the league.
And somebody
possibly averted.
Somebody brought up this on the radio today, that they're wondering, if some of those spikes are from players that are going to be cut. At the end of the season, do we have to worry about that?
From our team, Ionitis, Payne, Samuel. I don't know. Yeah, it sounds kind of maybe someplace else, but not here. I don't think.
Yeah, it's just something to think about. I mean, it will cut down, bring that rate down. Montez Sweat had his he went up and had his media interview today, and you know what he said weeks ago about why should I get the vaccine if I haven't had COVID yet, which was fucking stupid. To say, but he gave, it's a personal choice for him, and you're kind of wondering, like, who else is or this choice? I mean, because he sounds like he's not going to get it regardless. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
John, what do you think about the whole vaccination rate?
I think for us, if it's at 86%, that means it's probably gonna be 90% pretty soon, which to me says potential crisis averted. When we're at 55 to 60%, you got a real problem, especially if they're talking about forfeits, and while it still could happen, even if we're at 95%, it's less likely by a lot. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with where things have turned out and ended up. And I think that when you do see cut down day happen, those rates are going to change. I think you're right. They're going to go up a little bit because some of the guys, not the ones that we've seen so far that they've put on the COVID list here, but that doesn't mean that all of our unvaccinated players have been put on the COVID list, right? We've only seen 7.
Yeah.
And none this last week, as far as I know.
That's true. Yeah. Because Curtis Samuel came off the COVID list, but he went immediately on the PUP list, and we'll get to him in just a few minutes. Keith, what do you think about all these players getting a spike in the COVID vaccination?
Great, thank you. Hopefully we don't forfeit. I mean, I don't really care. I didn't care when we were at 50-something%, and I don't care now. Like I said, I'm more for the personal choice. If these guys choose not to, it is what it is. I mean, for me, like I said, personally, if I were a player and my coach is Ron Rivera and him just battling cancer, I might make that decision just because of that. I have my opinions on the vaccine to begin with. There's just so much conflicting information, positive, negative. You don't even know what to think anymore. I don't put stock in anything. All I want is the world to get back to normal. And if that means getting a vaccine does that, that's fine. And then later on down the road, if we find out that the vaccine was a joke and the COVID cases are continuing to raise and the world has to shut down, then guess what? We got to start all over again. But for the time being, yeah, I mean, I'm great. We're almost at 90%. After the cuts, we might be a little less than that. Looks like the players went ahead and made the decision so that way they're not affecting other people's paychecks. So if that's the case, and I truly believe the ones that didn't get the vaccines that got it now didn't want the vaccine. I do think that they were looking after their teammates, making sure they weren't going to be the guy that was going to help cost their team a loss, from a forfeit. So great decision making. Other than that, I'm done with the vaccine talk.
Yeah, it sucks. I agree with you. I'm so over fucking COVID period, man. Yeah. But you said it best. I think, Keith, when Ron Rivera, I mean, to do it just for him, I would do. I mean, seriously, I mean, just because what he battled all through last year, and he's still immune. He still has an immune deficiency as well as I do with my Crohn's disease. His is absolutely far worse, but I got to be extra careful too about what I do. And for players, you want to respect coach, and you want to, take care of your coach like he's taking care of, them. Do it for your coach, do it for that person beside you. Do it to make sure everybody gets their paycheck, everybody gets their pie, because not everybody gets paid the same.
Listen, tell you what, you should show them all a picture of Tamarick Hemingway with no pants on. I say, if you get the shot, this is what you're going to look like. I guarantee you, we shoot right on.
He's never going to live that down. Listen, I stayed away from the vaccine conversation because it's so controversial. And these days, you can't be for it or against it without getting any kind of negative feedback from someone in general. So I've been real quiet about it. But I'll tell you, the only reason why I got the vaccine was because I'm going to Jamaica next summer. And I felt that it would be irresponsible of me not to get the vaccine and go to another country.
Jamaica's got no diseases at all.
Well, I don't know.
Well, even still, for international travel, you've had to prove vaccinations forever.
Right.
You've always had to do it. So yeah,
just in general, it was just
you want to travel.
Right. I want to travel. I want to live life. And, You know, I'm not trying to get any type of sickness from over there, and I'm not trying to give a sickness, right? So you might as well just, you know, do what you're being told is you're supposed to do, and you know, when you're going to do things like that. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't get the vaccine. And I know people would tell me that, you know, I'm being selfish of other people's health, and it may come off insensitive because Jesse, you and I had a conversation, and I won't get into it. Like, I'm glad that I was, you know, got the vaccine, you know, so I'm not risking any, you know, giving you any potential health issues, you know, so to speak. So after you and I had that conversation, I kind of changed my stance a little bit because I got a different perspective from someone who, you know, has gone through some, you know, health ordeals in life. So after that, I probably would have said, all right, I'm going to go get this vaccine because I understand. But I'm also a firm believer that, you know, with this, that you, at some point, in order for this world to get back to normal, people are going to have to hold themselves accountable for their health. Sure. And there's different ways. There's different ways that you could still do things in life without having to get out in the public. And I know that that sounds silly and stupid because, you know, there's other things in life than just, you know, grocery shopping and this and that. But look, again, not to get into it, but at some point we're all going to have to hold ourselves accountable and make the right decisions for ourselves. You know, right now it's, well, what about the person next to you? Well, I don't share the same views as a lot of people do, but again, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be insensitive about it either. And I am open. And like I said, when I had that conversation with you, Jesse, I became a lot more open and understanding to why maybe getting this vaccine was more important than just going to Jamaica. So anyways, going back to the team aspect, if Ron Rivera is the reason why these guys who weren't vaccinated are vaccinated now, and also because they didn't want to affect their, you know, their paychecks along with their teammates, good. Here we are.
All right, moving on. Guess what, fellas? We have a game in 2 days. Actually, a day and a half, 2 days.
Yeah. I'm very happy about that.
The Washington football team is putting on the pads and going up against the New England Patriots. And I'm kind of excited, man. I guess every time, you know, this year, this time every year I get excited, even though it's kind of bullshit ball. It's still exciting because, you know, that next step to getting to the season is here. You know, that season is just that much closer. But I still watch the games. I stay up as long as I possibly can. Usually probably fall asleep around the fourth quarter. But I get excited. I get up on these preseason games, man. I just want to see somebody throw some footballs and some points scored, and you know, by the time the fourth quarter rolls around, you have zero clue who the fuck is playing out on the field. But that's just how it goes. I want to start with you, Keith. What do you want to see? What do you like? What do you want the team to do, or it could be players, it could be anything. What do you want to see on Thursday?
I'd like to see some ball movement on the offense. You know, especially from the first team. Who knows how long we're going to be out there? Maybe not long at all. Now that we're one less game preseason, right?
Yeah. There's only three this year. Yep.
Yeah. Just let me see some consistency with moving the ball down the field as much as possible before they start pulling out the starters.
I have a feeling that they're going to play longer than many expect because I think Ron's going to want. I think kind of Ron alluded to it a little bit today on his press conference, or it may have been yesterday. That he wants to see a drive get going. He wants to see, because Ryan Fitzpatrick hasn't, you know, been with this team. He hasn't had a whole lot of reps. So I think we might see the starters for maybe like 2-3 drives.
Yeah,
that's about what I would expect anyways, 2 or 3 drives.
That's what I was
first
expecting.
Quarter. Yeah. But and anything beyond that, I mean, you might see Fitzpatrick for a while in there so he can get acclimated and get his arm, you know, he is 38. He needs to get that thing twisted around. But Terry McLaurin's not going to play long, I would hope. I would hope Antonio Gibson's not going to play long. Don't risk too much. That's my main thing. When I get excited about preseason games, I always am like, damn, we're going to watch some football tonight. And then about 5 minutes into it, I go, it just isn't the same intensity. The difference on the first Sunday and
very
the last
vanilla.
They're so much faster when they get to the first game of the season. It's just so much more intense. But, so you try to watch just everybody out there, everybody that can hear the sound of my voice. Listen, what you see doesn't really mean much. It doesn't really mean much. I don't care what you think you saw, unless you see a guy burning somebody one-on-one. If we see Diami Brown drop down of 65 yards and beat some cornerback right up over the top and just take the ball from him, okay, that's something you want to see. But overall, they're not showing any real scheme. The defense isn't showing any real scheme. You might not even realize that they're not even supposed to throw it to that guy. You don't know what they're doing. They're practicing.
Yeah.
So that people get so excited. I
think that the type of game plan, that gets drawn up is more of just, testing out certain, offensive plays, defense. I mean, again, you can't get excited about the actual result because you don't know who's playing on defense. It may not even be all first teamers, that type of deal. So if
basic formations, right?
Yeah, if a second teamer, a second string guy is coming in covering McLaurin, and McLaurin runs a 75-yard route for a touchdown, I'm not gonna.
That would be fun, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think I'm just looking to see, Fitzpatrick throw the ball down the field, put him in some tight spaces, just see the cohesion when it comes to that. I don't put a lot of stock in preseason whatsoever. I myself, I'm not going, no, obviously not to this game, but I'll be going to the next one when we play the Bengals, because I'm going to take my 5-year-old and just let him experience a little bit of football.
Preseason's good for that.
Yeah.
Good for that.
Yeah. So take him. It'll be his first
talk to some players. That's cool.
Who knows? They're still not letting us near him. So
I just want to see ball movement. I just want to see us get a couple first downs, maybe score a touchdown.
Touchdown.
I want just to see our first team get their feet wet, and same thing with the defense. I want a 3 and out, boom, and then them done. And I'm actually interested to see what the Patriots are going to do, because you remember that they have the quarterback that I love to hate so much in Mac Jones. Cam Newton too.
Cam Newton, yeah.
What? Fuck him.
Medea out there on the field.
Yeah, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do as well. I'm hearing mixed reviews about Mac Jones in preseason, but it's interesting. You're getting two different teams playing up against each other, and it's football, or a close resemblance to it.
If you're going to run your offense out there, Bill Belichick's a good guy to run it against him, even if it's just practice. That's a good opponent to have this week. So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the most excitement I get from a preseason game is like when you go to a horror movie and you just know the worst is going to happen and you're ready to be scared to death. And that's why I feel like after every play, just get up. Everybody get up.
Yeah.
Everybody get up. Get okay. All right. Everybody's up.
Yeah.
Good. We're all good.
I remember. You got to remember too, since there is only 3 preseason games, it's going to be interesting to see what coaches do and how they're going to deploy, because usually that third preseason game, you got your starters playing for at least a half, and sometimes even more. So I'm kind of interested to see what coaches are going to do. Kevin Sheehan said that he wants 20 pass plays each game from Fitzpatrick, which I find that to be well overboard. But I don't want to see any running plays. I don't want to see Antonio Gibson going up the middle. I don't think there's really any need for that. It's probably just give him more chances to get hurt. But we're going to see a lot of Lamar Miller, Peyton Barber. We're going to see a lot of Jarrett Patterson. I'm intrigued to see what he's going to do. Even though I don't think he's going to make the 53. Sorry, Aniba. I know you have high hopes for him, but I just don't see where there's room for him.
He's small. Put him in a locker.
I'm interested to see, our backup tight ends, that tight end 3 race. Who's going to be? Is going to be Hemingway? Is going to be Ricky Seals-Jones? See Samus Reyes in the game fully padded for the first time.
You already saw one, though, right?
Steven Sims is a very interesting name right now because he's getting a lot of love.
He's burning it up from what I'm reading.
Yeah, and I think it's how's Rye going to deploy him? And we're going to get into the depth chart a little bit later, but he's tearing it up, man. He's tearing it up. But is he going to revert back to his 2019 self? Who knows? But I think that's going to be interesting to see.
I think the news of him doing so well really spells bad things for DeAndre Carter or a guy like Dax Milne. Even though you see Milne here and there making a catch in practice and getting a little bit of press, where's the spot on the team?
Yeah,
he's got to return punts, and if Sims is burning it up out there in the slot and returning punts, which he's been doing, well, more power to him.
So I kind of want to break away from the game a bit, and I want to talk about a player that's been missing, a high profile player in Curtis Samuel. My worry meter is kind of going up a little bit. He was out all mini camp. He hasn't been in the training camp at all. He got COVID. He just came back from COVID. And now he's placed on the physically unable to perform list. And that worries me a bit. Now, Ron did come out and say that they're not really worried about it. They'd like for him to, catch a couple passes in the preseason game, but they're not worried about him knowing the offense because, he was with Ron and Norv Turner's offense, a couple years ago in Carolina. But still, from a tweaked hamstring or I think it was a tweaked groin.
Yeah, it's a groin.
And it's been months. Keith, should we have anything to worry about?
Yeah, I mean, we should be concerned. We should be concerned that he's not out there getting reps, with Fitzpatrick. We should be concerned that we haven't seen anything from him yet. But I don't think it's time to jump a ledge from it.
Yeah.
And be upset. I think that, let's do the right thing. Let the guy get 100% healthy. He's got, the preseason to get, make sure that he's still in tip top shape. I'm not sure what his status will obviously become, week 1. But even week 2, listen, the wide receiver core is pretty stacked in my opinion. So
that's one thing that we do have going with it because Diami Brown in his place has been doing very, very well.
Correct. I mean, of course, things could be different once you're, running, actual full speed against other teams, other defenses, that could change. That's why I don't put a whole lot of stock into camp or even into preseason because you're not playing at that high level.
Right.
Is the way that I see it. So yeah, I think there's some reason for concern, but I don't think anybody should be jumping a ledge yet. He's starting missing some, major time come week 1, week 2, week 3 because of this lingering injury that no one's really talking about. Then yeah, we've got an issue. But like I said, I think that our receiver core is, stacked to the point where we might be able to afford this in the first place. So, is he better than, a lot of the other guys on the squad? Sure. But he's not our number 1 guy, McLaurin
available.
To me, McLaurin is our number 1, so
sure.
I'm not too freaked out about it, to be honest.
John,
there's still a month to go before the season starts,
right.
So I'm not really too freaked out about it. But I brought it up last week. What the hell is the definition of a freaking tweak? You're right. He tweaked this thing months ago, right?
Yeah.
Would they tweak it with a sledgehammer? Would they tweak it with?
Listen,
Jesus Christ, it's a tweak. So I mean, I get it. It's hard to stretch and run when you got your groin getting pulled and all that sort of thing. But I'm of the thinking more that they're probably just throwing caution to the wind, and they're just, excuse me, that's the wrong phrase. They're just being cautious with him right now. He's on the PUP list. They're going to just kind of keep him there under wraps, put him in bubble wrap for a couple of weeks. They'll bring him out probably by the 3rd preseason game and let him run around for the practice field. And by week 1, hopefully he'll be ready to go and he'll be able to stay healthy. But again, I think, Keith, you're right. We got a good problem here. We've got depth. We've got people that are ready to step up into that spot, even if he stays on PUP for a couple of weeks going into the season. We've got guys back there that are ready to roll. Yep. And I like that. I like that a lot. But overall concern, not really.
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys. Not yet. I think if he's not off PUP by a week before week 1, then I'm going to be concerned. And I'm wondering, I'm thinking too, like, because he got on the COVID list. I'm wondering if he actually got COVID-19 and got sick, because he wasn't around. And we've heard stories that, it takes a little while to come back from that. So he could be healed up from his injury. They're just being cautious and letting him get on the mend, and get totally over, get his body right for from the COVID-19. So that could be it too. But we don't know, but it's concerning right now. And I would probably flip shit. You'd be a little bit worried about it week 1, but you're right, Keith. We got a depth at the wide receiver position. And our rookie has been, like I said before, Dimey Brown has been killing it in practice. So, I even if he's not back, I think we'll be okay. But you would rather see Curtis Samuel in the field, regardless, getting that reps, getting these important reps and building some confidence and rapport with Ryan Fitzpatrick, our quarterback number 1.
Yeah. Hey, Jesse, you know who is killing it? You know who's killing it out there right now? The guy that both you and me said would not make the freaking team. Troy Apke is getting love every single day he's making plays.
That's fucking. I'm even hearing that he could very well make this fucking team, and that just that fucking as a cornerback, and that blows my fucking mind. Now he won't fucking touch. He won't touch the field. He's making plays against 3s and 4s.
Against Steven Montez,
yeah. And everybody's making a play against Steven Montez. Like,
Keith, did you make a play against Steven Montez on Friday night? I heard you did.
No, I made a play at Heineke.
Oh. He made a play at Heineke.
Yeah, at Heineke.
Can I buy you a white claw?
It's really weird.
Can I touch your Heineke?
Steven Montez has been throwing an interception pretty much at the end of each practice every day. And that's kind of fucking frightening if you ask me. And to be honest with you, seeing him on Friday night, his passes did not look good. He's throwing a lot of fucking ducks, man. And I don't even know if he makes the goddamn practice squad this year.
It depends. I'll tell you what, maybe this is why they said they want to try to use him in some Taysom Hill packages, because he throws like garbage. So they're just going to let him try to run the ball.
Yeah, who knows?
Nah, they're just talking him up. He ain't going to make the team. I think you're right.
One thing I wanted to talk about too, a segue to the offensive line. They have actually been playing better and looking better since they got the pads on. Weeks back, or not even weeks back, a week or so ago, Sam Cosney was kind of getting beat up because of the fact that they was going up against Chase Young and Montez Sweat, and they were just fucking mauling his ass.
They beat him up.
Well, now that the pads have come on, he's actually looked a lot better, and so has the whole entire offensive line. I think they can be a little bit more physical. They're starting to work together now, and they're just getting better and better every day. And to me, that's a very, very good sign, especially when you have to go up against the beast of the defensive line that you have to every single day. This preseason game is going to be a test for them too. They're going to go up against somebody different, and hopefully they'll take what they've learned from the vaunted Washington defense and just maul the fucking Patriots down the field.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people were worried about Cosme, but I'm not so much anymore. John, how do you think the offensive line is faring?
I mean, as good as can be expected for what we're going to find out in practice. I'm not hearing that Fitzpatrick's getting his head beat in. Well, they're not allowed to touch him anyway, but they would be able to tell us if they were getting to him. But yeah, let them practice hard. And I think you're right, man. They're iron sharpens iron, right? So you're going to play against the best. You got to practice against really good guys. And I think it's only going to help make us better. But we'll see when things get to be real in September. Right now, they've got Cosme penciled in at number 1 on the unofficial depth chart that they came out with the other day. Right, number 1 right tackle. So, I guess he's earned it.
Well, Keith?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, when I think about it, I kind of relate it to basketball. When I was younger, I always wanted to go to the courts where the bigger grown folks were playing, because to me, that's how I got better.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of in relation to football, where you see Cosme. Sorry,
Mr. Popular.
Where you see Cosme, practicing against the best, which is in return, in my opinion, only going to make them better. And as we've been seeing through the reports of these guys, at practice doing their minute by minute tweets, they are speaking a little bit more positive, on them than we were a week ago. So, again, great. I don't put a lot of stock. I want to see what's going to happen against other teams, when everyone's going 100%, and then we can start really, as fans, judging what we've got out there.
Yeah. Practice for me is no news is good news, period.
Yeah.
No news is good news. If they're not giving me anything one way or the other, I'm happy.
Knock on wood. We've, so far so good. Avoid any, major injuries. And
don't even say it.
That's like the main thing that we need to, want to take away from the preseason game is get in, don't get hurt, and get the fuck out unscathed.
Right.
Are y'all too worried about Steve Sims making this team this year?
Seems like he's got a good shot at it right now. I don't hear Adam Humphrey's name being mentioned too much, other than he's Fitzpatrick's personal choice. Other than that, what's he done that's been better than Sims from what I'm reading? I don't know.
I think Humphreys is a lock to make the team.
Okay.
He's our starting slot, but I think because Sims I think it's between Sims and DeAndre Carter. We used to hear a lot coming out from camp from DeAndre Carter, because both of them, they're punt returners, and you got to have a punt returner. And we were all hoping that DeAndre Carter was going to go ahead and run away with that job, but Steven Sims has been not only lighting it up on with the 2s and 3s, he's even been getting some work with the 1s lately, which is kind of.
The unofficial depth chart has Carter at number 1
as the punt returner. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I don't know. Every week that goes by, or no, every day that goes by, you're still seeing these reports that Steven Sims is doing good. You know what? If that translates to the regular season, good, great, grand, wonderful, awesome.
Sure.
But it's still, from what we saw last year, man, that's like Apke making the team. I think him and Apke kind of belong in the same boat to me, because his hands just aren't very good.
I'll tell you what, we saw something out of Steven Sims when he was a rookie. We saw that
in 2019.
We really did. So sophomore slumps are a real thing. They're usually something that's attributed to a quarterback, but the game is still moving fast for him, and they're probably thinking too much because they've got more responsibilities. But it happens a lot in second-year players. They just don't live up to what they showed in the rookie season. Then they'll say that the cliche is the lights come on in the third year. So we'll see it. Steven Sims apparently is showing it in camp. We'll see what happens on the real games if he makes the team. I think he'll make the team.
Well, we'll see. So let's get on to the unofficial depth chart. Look,
who put this thing out?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta take it with a grain of salt, for real.
Well, who put it out? Did the team put it out?
Yeah, the team put it out. The team put it out.
And how is it unofficial? It's official.
Look, I mean, do you see any surprises on it? Anything on there surprise you?
Not really.
Really. Some people may have thought like Eric Flowers should be ahead of Schweitzer. I don't know. I think Schweitzer's had a good camp.
He's massive,
and you can't go wrong if your number 2 is Eric Flowers at guard. I mean, if it was tackle, it'd be a different story, but that's a good problem to have, you know, when your number two guard is Eric Flowers. But yeah, I don't really see anything out of the ordinary.
I'd like to see a little more competition back at kick returner and punt return. I mean, Carter and Sims are having a competition, but Danny Johnson is still our first kick returner. And now let me see what Jared Patterson can do. You know, let's see it.
That's true.
That's about the only thing that I'd even.
You have the one I'm looking at has a mistake because I think the team put out that Jamin Davis was actually the Mike like linebacker and John Bostic was the Will. But I don't want Bostic anywhere near the Mike linebacker this year whatsoever. I don't want Bostic on the team actually whatsoever.
He stole money from you, didn't he?
Y'all can fucking fight
your
me.
car or something, didn't he?
No, I just don't think he's good. I think he was our biggest issue on the defense last year was John Bostic. He was horrible in the run game. People say, well, he gets in the backfield and have sacks. He had like one sack.
Not really.
And he's had like one or two.
He misses a lot of tackles.
Plays. Yeah, he misses tackles. That, you know, I don't know. I'm just sick of him. I just want. He's a smart guy. He's good at getting people in positions, but he doesn't find himself in a position to make a fucking tackle, like ever.
Yeah, our outside linebackers are still definitely weak. Cole Holcomb supposedly he's flying around out there, but if you look at the second string at Jared Norris and Justin Phillips, you take Bostic out. What are you going to get?
I mean, I like Kalika Hudson.
They got him in the middle.
I want to see what he can do. You know, one thing I found that was curious was that Cam Curl is going to play free safety. They have Cam Curl at free. You know, I mean, you got to get your best players on the field at all times. So, I mean, that makes sense, I guess. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, you can't take too much stock in this depth chart. Things are going to change once cuts are made. But you know,
it's unofficial put out by the team. They put it out and then went, but we didn't say that. Yeah. That's not what we mean.
Keith, do you find anything peculiar on this depth chart?
No, I don't care.
No.
You're having a day, aren't you?
They do got Matt Ioannidis as a starter as well, which is weird. That's John.
I don't put any stock into this because it doesn't matter. The depth chart's going to change. Things are going to change before the season starts.
I'm not seeing Ioannidis. I see him behind Allen.
The one I have, it says I guess we're looking at different unofficial depth charts.
Well, they are unofficial, you know.
I mean, really, you guys are looking at straight doo-doo because it's going to change.
We're looking at wiki depth chart. That
the wiki depth chart.
Anybody can change it.
Yeah, fuck it. We need to talk about Pediatric Cancer Month coming up in the month of September. Keith, I kind of want to give the mic to you again so you can kind of go over some of the hog farmer stuff.
Yeah, so all the podcasters out there that listen to the show, Chris Bryant reached out and kind of wanted all of us to kind of band together and give some information about pediatric cancer, especially in September because it's Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month in September. So just want to give a couple little facts maybe to open people's eyes a little bit, but there's easily a little over 10,000 kids in the United States that are diagnosed with cancer. That's a large amount, and that's usually per year that happens, and I'm sure each year that number steadily increases. A lot of people, or let me just say this, 4%, only 4% of billions of dollars the government spends annually on cancer research is directed towards treating, childhood cancer. So, as you can see, that's a very small percentage. So, we got to do our best to keep talking about this and to keep people aware of what's going on, and just do our best to, try to donate what we can, to help these families out. But a lot of people have reached out lately, and want to know how can they help if they can't be a part of the hog farmers, in what ways, can they help? And again, I'm going to go ahead and my man John loves to shout out the website. So you can donate directly to
hogfarmerscharity.org.
Yep.
Go out there and hit the donation button. That's how you can help.
Yep. You can also donate raffle items. It does not need to be Washington football team or Redskins specific. You can donate small toys, coloring books, crayons, colored pencils, Hot Wheels, Barbies, card games. Those listed there are typically what we see in the referrals and what we're typically purchasing for the care packages. So donating, brand new stuff of those items is definitely very helpful in that aspect. You can even set your own toy drive, which we've got a couple people like John Wood reaching out who wants to do a toy drive. He's been asking for a long time, how can he get involved? Just if you do the toy drives, make sure wherever you're doing them that you're allowed to do them, or you will be shut down. But anyways, the more toys that we can grab to put in these care packages, that money that was getting spent can actually be redirected elsewhere to do other things. Right. You can donate food. You can donate gas gift cards. If you'd like, those usually go into the care packages as well. What they just started doing is you can also add Hog Farmers Inc. to your Amazon Smile. I don't know if you know what that is, but anyone who purchases on Amazon, they can sign up for Amazon Smile, and proceeds will actually come back to the Hog Farmers. Yep. And then, of course, the usual, follow the Hog Farmers on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and do the best you can to share, retweet, and all of that good stuff, just to continue to keep spreading the message. I know it's tough because there's just so much that we're doing right now. But in that aspect, between the raffle, between this tailgate stuff that I am going to put together and spread the message about soon, excuse me, those, there's just a lot going on that we're just trying to raise money for. So that way, when we continue to get these kid referrals, we can, be able to supply back to them, as well. Yeah. So,
if everybody listening donated the cost of 1 cup of coffee, a large coffee, no, these little small things, you cheap bastards, a large cup of coffee, you could really go a long way to helping defer some of these costs that they put out, and they do a lot of good stuff. Yeah. And September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, so be aware of it.
Yep.
And that's that.
Yep. And I'll go ahead and make the announcement now, and I'll start talking more about it. But however, week 1, myself and John, we're going to bring our 2 little charcoal grills. We're going to throw a little hot dog fest, right? We've got chips, drinks coming. And we are inviting anybody that would like to come and have some hot dogs, come have some chips, come have some drinks with us, at the Red Zone lot over by the Hog Farmer tent. We'll be right next to Extreme Skins, I believe. Chris can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but they usually partner together as well during the tailgates. But if you'd like that, great, come on by. And if you can, donate, whether it be $1, $2, anything happens. And people have been asking, well, how can I help with that? Well, simple. Bring some hot dogs and bring some hot dog buns, and we're just going to keep it going until it's time to go into the stadium. We're going to do the best that we can.
Would it be safe to say that you're having a sausage party?
No. Oh, no sausage party. It will be a hot dog party. Yep. And, of course, we'll need some condiments with that. Please do not bring the Miracle Whip. I do not put Miracle Whip on my hot dogs.
Anybody who puts mayonnaise or anything like that on their hot dog needs to just don't come.
I don't want to hear about ketchup. You put ketchup on there, I'm going to give you the side eye.
Yep.
Mustard. I don't.
Ketchup goes on hot dogs. Sorry.
Does it? I don't know about all that.
Catch us out on all platforms. You can catch Keith at KGCN26. John,
don't even catch him. Don't even
Bang
catch
Radio.
I don't even want to talk to him.
And you can catch me at Jesse's 24. We'll see you next week.
All right. I got to go.